Hi, Josh Edwards, and welcome to Random Antics. I I kind of apologize. I know I look like I'm all wet, and honestly, I am. I've kind of had a very wet Father's Day weekend. I between going to Worlds of Fun and going on that Wrath of Egypt ride, or the one where you ride the Wrath of the Nile, Fury of the Nile. That's it, Fury of the Nile. Between that and going fishing and getting splashed on the rough waves with my dad. Well, this is kind of what happens. And speaking of fathers, I want to introduce you to some people I met when I was in Montana when I was just getting out for summer break. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and I don't know, two others. But bottom line, I'd like to introduce you to the Founding Fathers! I know exactly what you're thinking. They look a little smaller than you remember, right? Alright, I admit, I couldn't bring the real Mount Rushmore with me. But it's a lot bigger. And believe me, it's quite the sight. My father and my mother took me, and speaking of the Founding Fathers, Father's Day brings up a good point. It's the day where we celebrate the fathers who work hard, and not just to support their family, but they also show the effort by taking time to get to know their kids and their wives. They do the work. That's why we have Father's Day, because there are fathers out there worth celebrating. I'll admit they don't always know how to. Sometimes the kids may call them cheap because they won't let you have popsicles or the ice cream you want. But what you don't realize is they've got a future to plan, not just for them, but for their kids and their wives, and make sure the kids can go to college, have the life they wanted. Not every father does that. There are some people that are fathers that don't even, the kid isn't theirs, but they take them in. Though that is why we have Father's Day, because of people like that. The people who put in the effort, the time, and the heart, and they do the work. I know what it means to have a father, and I know there are a lot of people who don't, and for those people, I want them to know that that had nothing to do with them. It is not their fault. They chicken out, or maybe they can't, or maybe they don't know how. Doesn't mean they can't try. And for those of you like me who are big fans of The Big Bang Theory, pun not intended, you would know the character Sheldon lost his father when he was 14, and Howard Wolowitz, the boob of the group, lost his father. His father abandoned him when he was 11. And recently the character Howard has become a parent, and they talk a lot about that issue in this clip I want you to take a look at.
You and I both know how hard it is growing up without a father. That's why I'm confident you're going to be the best dad you can be.
Thank you, Sheldon.
You're welcome. And if he has twins, we can do all kinds of neat experiments on them.
I'm sorry. That clip always makes me laugh. But it brings up a very good point. And as you can see, it is very important to have a positive father figure, or even male figure in your life. Not just for young men, but for women as well. It can be very hard and painful. I know people who've dealt with this, and I want you to know you're not alone, and you can still find love. And I hope this pushes you to be the best father you can be for those of you who are going to be or want to be parents, because you understand the value, and for those people I commend you. Well, thank you for your time, and have a wonderful week. And that's it for today on Random Antics. But before we go, I want to give you a little idea of what's happening next. Now, as you know, the third Cars movie just came out, and I'm a big Cars fan. I love cars. You know, big cars, little cars, Disney cars, movies about Disney cars. See what I did there? Anyway, Cars 3 has recently come out, and I want to give a little recap of how we've gotten from the first Cars movie 11 years ago to the one we're seeing now, and how history kind of repeats itself, and how we kind of live it, at least what Lightning McQueen's going to be doing. This is a very, very big deal, very intense. I'm very excited to see this movie myself, and we're going to talk about it next time on Random Antics.